Hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're down here at the bottom. I'm gonna try to get this dozer going. I don't know how many of you guys have seen this dozer before, but we bought this dozer. It's a 1934 Allis Chalmers Model M. It's a 300 cubic inch 4-cylinder. So these pistons are big inside of this engine here. We've been fighting the spark on it, so I'll show you what I've done here. So I've gotten inside this old mag. This is it's a Fairbanks Morse mag, and there used to be a coil inside of here, or actually it was inside of that part, but I took it out because I don't think it was working correctly. It seemed that whenever we would spin this with a plug out trying to test our spark, it wouldn't work. There's like a pre-ignition on here. Let's see if we can get it to fire. Doesn't work unless it's standing upright. But that is supposed to be like the pre-ignition, because this came with a hand crank in 1934. That pump and tank is afterwards. So it needed that little ignition because people weren't able to spin these things fast enough. So it sparks on that first initial click that you guys heard. But once the engine gets spinning fast enough, that actually disengages and then it switches over to the coil. And we didn't have any spark when the coil was trying to fire. So what I did here was just tap into the points with this wire, and I went to the auto store and bought a coil. So I'm going to hook up this to the coil, hook the coil up to my battery, and see if we can get this thing to fire up. So as you can see, it turned over and it spins pretty free. It sounds good, it's got compression, but we just need to get some spark on it. So let's hook this thing up and see what's going on. What we got to do first is try to get this thing at top dead center, and it's not the easiest thing by yourself. There's actually on the flywheel some marks, and I'm going to see if I can find them by myself to show you guys, shine a flashlight down in there. The other way to do it is to just pull the #1 cylinder out and get it to top dead center. Also easier said than done by yourself. So we're going to see. And if I turn this a little bit, you can see there's dead center on #1, and then it's got something else back there too. I can't quite make out what that says. We'll spin it back to fire because we're gonna set up our ignition to fire right on fire. I think that's what we're supposed to do. So right there, it is on fire. All right, now we're gonna take the cap off of the distributor to get a look at the rotor and see what position this thing is in. Oh, it was actually in the #1 position. So you can see the #1 position is marked right there. So it fires right over that. You can see it click right over the #1 position. That's fire. 2, 3, 4, back to #1. And this right here is how I am getting my spark to my cap and rotor. That nail down in there touches this rod that goes in there. So we'll see if it works. Put this down in here. There it is. The firing order on this, I believe, is 1, 2, 4, 3, with this being #1. Okay, so I just have this set in here for now, obviously temporary. This is going to my points inside that thing. And then this one I'm gonna run over to my battery over there. Let's see if she fires. All right, you ready? You wanna see if it starts?
Yeah.
All right, so we're pretty sure that this thing is gonna fire up. How confident are we? Pretty confident? Sure. Pretty confident. We just blew out quite a bit of oil. I don't know if we caught that on camera as that thing just popped right there, but we just blew a lot of stuff out of there. So we need to get some exhaust on here, and it's still pretty rigged up as far as everything goes, as you can see, but I think it's gonna do something. So we have identified so far an oil leak, and we just fixed a water leak. There was just a fitting that was loose for the coolant, so we got that fixed. But there is an oil leak on this side, but we're still gonna try to get this thing going. More Jimmy rigging. Look at this, guys. Look at all this stuff. This is probably from 1936. Who knows what that is? That either is broken or is meant to be a hammer from the fields. Oh, yeah. That's so cool.
Good thing you don't pay your cameraman very much.
Alright, let's try not to drop a bunch of shit in there. Okay.
On the lever, see what happens.
It's doing something.
Huh.
Maybe it's not doing enough. Oh, so that's got to be just a giant clutch fork right there.
Yeah.
This is a farm equipment, you know? This is a field equipment, which is weird to think about. Right. That is crazy, guys. This machine, this is 85 years old, still runs pretty good too. It's been sitting for a long time, and the only thing that's really not working is the clutch on one of the tracks, so it's quite amazing. So with that being said, the right side clutch does not seem to be releasing at this point. I don't know if it's just stuck or if it's worn out or what. When we cracked that case open on the right side, that adjustment was backed out pretty much as far as you could go. So somebody had been in there adjusting that clutch already. So I don't know if it was an attempt from them to free a stuck clutch, or if they slowly adjusted it out and it's worn out. The only way to really know is to crack this thing open. I don't know if I can start dropping some fluids down in there to see if I can get these clutches lubricated and see if I can break them free. The reason I think it might be just a little stuck is both of them were stuck at first. I only could go forwards and backwards, and then finally the left side just happened to pop free while I was working it. So it's able to turn left, and like I said, it was a solid like pop when that thing broke free. So I think the right side might just be stuck also, but I don't know. If we do have to replace those clutches, it's gonna be quite a job. It's not super fun. We're gonna have to take quite a bit of this apart, and it being from 1936, there's not a ton of how-to videos on this, but I think it's very doable. It's just a job we've never done before. I've actually already looked into it, and those clutches are available online. So since this thing only turns to the left, it's not totally usable. It's like 20% usable, maybe. It's kind of a pain having to finagle it around and go between forward and backwards just to get the thing to turn to the right. So hopefully we can figure this thing out pretty soon. There's obviously a lot of work to get this thing ready to be reliable and functional. We need to do a ton to it. We need to clean up the gas tank. We need to button up the electrical system. We need to hook up a kill switch. We need to hook up a muffler. And that's just the stuff we know about. Hey, well, I want to thank you guys for watching this video, and I hope you guys are as stoked as I am on this thing, because this is a cool piece of equipment. Hopefully we can get it all buttoned up. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe down below, and we'll see you next time.